Welcome. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a jet from the depths. Okay, so the first step is you're going to need a base. This base doesn't necessarily need to be too big, but certainly don't make it too small, as it would be very hard to cram all the components together. Also, make sure that your base is an odd number high, or that your center of mass, which is the blue square with the mass inside of it, is aligned with the center. For example, our center is right here, because you can go up one block and down one block. Okay, I'm going to call this my base, and I'm going to start with the first step, which is get a fuel engine. As the engines we're going to use aren't going to be custom engines. Custom engines generate their own power if you have the generator module installed with them. So I'm not going to go in depth on how to create fuel engines, but I'm going to show you my design, which is by far not the most effective or efficient, but it's simple and gets the job done. So basically, line of crankshafts, exhausts, and cylinders on both sides, with injectors on top of the cylinders, and then in the middle, line of radiators for extra cooling. Okay, that's the first set of internal components done. Next up, you're going to need the resources. Since we made a fuel engine, we're obviously going to need fuel, or flammable material storage, as it is now. I'm playing in the beta, so the material, how the resources work are a bit different than what they used to be. But if you're playing in the future, then it's probably already in the base game. Next up, we're going to need material and ammunition. Okay. Once that's all done, you're going to need to create your AI. To create your AI, basically what you need to do is pop down the mainframe, connectors, general processing, transmitter, an AI card slot, 2 behavior cards. Okay, and since this plane is going to be partially powered by PID, make sure to place PIDs on your plane. Okay. I think that's all I need. Yep, that's internal components done. Since I'm not necessarily wanting this plane to be the prettiest, I'm just going to spend, 10 seconds creating the cockpit. This is a design I usually use on most of my jets because it looks neatish and, well, it gets the job done. Okay. While we're working on aesthetics, I'm going to remind you to save your vehicle. Save your vehicle. Okay, whatever. Didn't finish the name when I pressed enter, but save your vehicle as often as you can. Okay. I'm also going to show off how to use camouflage because it's cool. So I want this to be camo naval. It's pretty self-explanatory. I want the metal to match up with one of these. So I put hashtag camo naval. Which one looks the coolest? 6. Camo naval 6. Boom. Doesn't it look better already? That's a rhetorical question. Okay. So we're gonna slap off the end. Then we're gonna add propulsion. One more thing to remind you about. When designing your plane, I did not take this into account because I'm trying to get this out quickly. But there is drag. Normally, the less thread it is, the better. For example, if I were to place slopes, it would have less drag than those. Less drag means your plane will go faster and be a bit more stable. Okay. So now that I have the end of my plane, I'm going to add propulsion. It's just going to be a normal huge jet engine that I'm going to put on the back of the plane. Okay. Now we're going to create our wings. You want your wings to be aligned with the center of mass. But, center of mass isn't aligned, is in the middle of 2 blocks, which means we can't have rolling thrusters or our wing properly aligned. To remedy this, simply grab a block of heavy armor or lead. These are the two heaviest blocks in the game and have a large effect on the center of mass. And place these blocks in the opposite direction. Place it at the front, it moves the center of mass aligned with the swing. I left an extra block empty here, so when I place my pitching thrusters, I can place them inside. Okay. I also add an extra hole in the back for my second pitch thruster. Pitch down. Okay, now I'm going to build out the wing. It's not going to be pretty, but you know, it's going to be a jet that flies and has missiles. It's a pretty cool jet if you ask me. Okay, boom. Wings. Okay, now you want to get aligned with your center of mass and go out to the furthest point on your plane, which in this case will be the end of our wings. Once you're here, you want to grab a jet engine, place it at the edge of your wing. Make sure to place yours with the exhaust down. That doesn't matter too much, as long as you configure it correctly. But assuming that the exhaust is pointing down and it's on the right side of your plane, then you're going to want to roll left. If it's on the right side and your exhaust is pointed up, you're going to want to roll right, as this would push your plane down, rolling it right, so you should push it up, rolling it left. You can also disable visual particle effects, making your plane look neater. This is what I will do. Okay. Now that we've got rolling done, we're going to want to pitch. Since I've left these two holes from earlier, just going to place our thrusters in here. It's automatically detected what roll it's going to need, which is pitch down in this case. Going to do the same for the front and disable particle effects. Okay. Now the last thing we're going to need is yaw. Just place these aligned with the center of mass at the front or back of your plane. They'll pick the rolls automatically. Okay. I'm also going to create a tail really quick, so I think it looks cool, although there's no point in trying to save this plane. Already looks awful. Okay. Okay. Since adding the tail, move the center of mass back, I'm going to have to add a couple extra lead blocks. Okay, center of mass is aligned again. Now we're going to need detection systems for AI. Simply place down a connector, wireless receiver, and a radar. Okay, now we're going to create our missile systems. We'll need a missile controller, small missile launcher, a couple of gantries, connector, render foe, staggered fire. Okay, I assume you already know how to create missiles, so I'm not going to explain that in this tutorial. So we're going to add a local weapon controller, connect it with a wireless receiver, and it's controlling one weapon, which is the missile controller. Okay, that's missiles done. I'm going to save this plane before going on to how to work out the AI. Okay, so to get to the AI systems for the plane, press C and then click on your plane. Or you can go up to the mainframe and then press Q on it. Mainframe also has a brain inside. Fun fact. Okay, so for behaviors, I'm just going to click on bombing run, keep everything the same, although feel free to change this if you're making it for your plane. I'm making my plane, and I'm lazy, so I'm not going to change it. Anyway, under adjustments, I'm going to change my minimum altitude to 100 because I don't trust this plane flying at lower than 100. I'm also going to change the maximum altitude to 500. Okay, under maneuver, click on airplane. Feel free to adjust this as you will, just tinker around with it. Although don't do anything too drastic or your plane might die. Okay. Last step, under PID, since we added 3 PIDs to the plane, we're going to need to control the yaw, pitch, and roll. This will make your plane fly much more stably, is that a word, and there. Okay, saving it one last time, and letting it go. Okay, so by no means this is a good plane. This is actually a very bad plane. But it flies, I suppose.
Control jaws moving out.
It does fly. Oh, wow.
Taking control.
Now let's see if we can shoot at a marauder, which is okay, it does shoot. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna spawn one of my other planes to shoot it down, because, you know, shooting things down is always fun, and it'll be a good way to end this tutorial. I'm having a stroke, my god. Okay. Let's go bang bang. Pew pew. Bam bam. Oh, you're not dead. Okay, now you're dead. Okay. I'm gonna spawn in one of my older planes. Nah, it's because it was on the deporter guard team. Deporter guard can't fly for shit. Here's this plane. Hopefully they fight. Boom. One hit. Let's go. Wow, it actually cut it in half. Diagonally. I'm surprised. Okay, well, that's in this tutorial. That's all I have to say about building planes. It's all the basics covered. Also how to make camouflage. Well, bye-bye. Watch some of my other videos, especially the one where I made a plane in 5 minutes. Pretty good looking plane. Swear to God, if this doesn't record my voice in the end, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. Well, yeah, bye-bye.